Okay, so I'm starting this channel because I have a lot of things to say, a lot of things in my head that need to come out vocally for me to tackle properly because I've been struggling with some problems that have really taken over for as long as I can remember, and I need to address these underlying issues and learn to be more vulnerable on the internet and to people I love and friends and family. I think this is a very good first step into doing that, right? One of the biggest reasons I started content creation is to create a community that will focus on trying to do better for themselves. But I really feel like right now in this gaming space that I'm in with Deadlock and other content, it's very hard to mix in the two at a deeper personal level. So I thought it'd be best to just separate it and still show it publicly. Now you might be wondering, like, why you don't have to show this on the internet, you know? There's no reason for you to actually share this personal private information that only you really need to deal with, and why would I care? Doesn't matter. Okay? Whether you care or not, it does not matter. I'm just hoping you could take something from this and use it to reflect on your own problems, maybe even reach out to a loved one, reach out to me, and just have a conversation about something that you're struggling with or something that you can't really feel comfortable talking to someone with. So, this is a place I want to create that will have no judgment, and you can feel free to comment whatever you want about your own personal issues, or you can, again, hit me up personally, right? I'm not sure if I'll always respond, but I will try my damn best. Especially starting off, I probably won't have anybody DMing me about this kind of stuff. So I'll 100% be available to talk because it's something that I think I want to do more anyways, and this has always been a goal of mine. So, yeah. I started streaming a long time ago, or I had the idea of wanting to stream because I want to be someone, be one of the big content creators, the Markiplier, the PewDiePie, or like more recently, like the Shroud, right? Or the Asu, the Lyric, the Fade, whatever, right? Whatever it is, a legend. Somebody that's memorialized in the game that they play, like Faker, what was, you know what I'm saying? Like, at least that was one of the main reasons, right? But as I grow older and as I matured, thanks to a lot of life experiences, I realized that this shit is so fake, man. So much of it is just so fake, and we need more of this genuine, like, real stuff in the world, There's so much stuff I want to do and talk about and say that just would be received as uncool or like looked like, or like cringe at, or like, like, or just turn into something like motivation. Bro, no, man. Like, I just want to be a genuine human being. That's it. I want to be someone that can be open about how I'm feeling, how I'm doing, be open to learning new stuff, be open to not being judgmental of anybody despite what they do or what's it like, So, I wanted to take the first step with this, and that's basically why I'm starting this channel. So, let's kind of just move into it. The topic I want to talk about today, which is my lack of consistency and how it's really, really affected me. This keeps me up at night for months It has kept me up at night for months and almost like years. Like, it's something that I've really been struggling with. And I am literally in bed, in my mind, just trying to go to sleep, but knowing deep down that I have a problem that needs to be worked on. But it's also a problem that I don't share to anybody with for some reason. Like, it's weird, right? I'm coming to the internet before I even talk to a professional or my family, you know what I'm saying? But that's just how it is sometimes, and I think it's okay, because I think it's fine to just take that first step. And, maybe some people don't have or aren't lucky enough to have family or friends close to them to be able to talk about this kind of stuff, right? Not saying that I don't, but I just feel like this is the most comfortable to me. Also, therapists are freaking expensive, dude. That's probably one of the bigger reasons as to why. No, I'm just kidding. They are expensive, but definitely worth it. I had taken therapy for about 2 years prior to my breakup with my first ex. You know how it is, first love. It's messy, right? Had a lot of thoughts about, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of that comes and goes for sure. A lot of tears and a lot of emotions for the first time. A lot of realizations, and I'm just glad that I was able to recover properly and recover in a way to where I've grown, and I know that I've grown. So right after the breakup, I had started therapy, and I didn't know what to expect. But we tackled a lot of issues when it comes to, like, girls and, like, self-confidence and patterns. But I never really talked about this problem specifically because it was happening while I was in my therapy sessions, which was, I was late sometimes. Sometimes I would completely forget I had it. I would be truant. I just wouldn't show. And I was very fortunate to have a great, amazing therapist. And she would, where usually I would get charged for missing a session, she'd be like, oh, it's okay, we can reschedule, because she understood that I had an issue with that stuff, but I guess I didn't realize it at the time. And yeah, moving forward, 2 years later, I'm finally coming up to talk about it because, again, I want to be vulnerable. I'm hoping that maybe you can, like, kind of be too, if you're interested in. Like I said, you can hit me up personally or in the comments. But yeah, consistency, which also leads to lying. So obviously the biggest example of consistency and the lack of comes from working out, right? Because everybody can feel it. They can feel it and they can see it. It's something that you cannot lie about. You either have it or you don't, Like, it's very like black and white, I guess. That's the way to put it. So yeah, there's been moments in my life where I've had strong emotions, and those emotions channeled for me into energy and motivation for the gym and just overall getting better with my health. And then with that motivation and energy, I would be like, yeah, like, I'm gonna get buff, I'm gonna get rich, and I'm gonna forget my day ones and act like I know nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, that kind of mentality. And then, you miss a day, and then that first day turns into a second day, And then excuses come up, like you got sick, like you just can't right now, like you're busy, you have work, all this stuff. And I think it's tough. And then you fall off of it, and your mind gets occupied with something else, a new goal, without ever sticking with what you talked about. And then months later, like me today, you lie in bed, you realize the mistakes you've made, you realize that this is not who you want it to be, and then you try and ignore it by feeding your brain bullshit like TikTok and Instagram Reels and YouTube, Crunchyroll, anime, porn, whatever it is, right? Literally. So, as to not be with your thoughts at night, because you know deep down that you fucked up and you have to get back on track, but you just don't want to, right? Until eventually you put the phone down because you have to sleep, but then you can't sleep because your mind is just raging and you just can't stop moving or shaking, or your body's just restless even though you're extremely tired. And then the cycle continues, right? All this while no one knows a damn thing about it. Or maybe they do and they just don't bring it up or whatever, right? So that's kind of why I think vocalizing it is important. You can write it down in a notebook, whatever your issue is. You can talk to a friend or family, or you can reach out to a professional, right? There's a lot of ways you can start the healing. And for me, this is the start of my healing. So yeah, the lack of consistency, it leaks into the rest of your life. I have a great friend named Hawk. Don't even know who they are, what they look like, where they live. Basically nothing. But Hawk has told me some great advice. And one of the ones that really stuck with me was that the way you do one thing is how you do everything. And mind you, we were just talking about deadlock, right? Bad habits and deadlock. We're trying to break those. She's great for improving. She helped me improve so much. Even to the point where like my coaching is based off of her methods. So that's cool. But I realized that this lack of consistency not only affected me in other places in my life, but it affected other people in my life as well. For example, streaming. Can't set a schedule properly. I say things that I will do and I don't follow up. I try and set a schedule and I don't follow it. What else? I planned something ahead of time with friends and then I'm late to that. Or I say I'm going to get bigger and I'm going to achieve my goals. I'm going to have clear skin, whatever. And I don't. I don't actually follow through with them. And people can feel that. They know. They can feel it. They might not be saying anything, but they can definitely see it and they can feel it. There's an energy about it. When you come across somebody, and this has happened a couple times in my life, when you come across somebody who you know just by looking at them, just by standing near them, that they have achieved what they've achieved through hard work and follow through and having a sense of discipline and being consistent, you can feel it. That's something I don't feel like I have. And it's something that really keeps me up at night, keeps me in my thoughts,